Okay, I'm gonna discuss my understanding of these Freemason private discussion boards. Um, I'm a bit disappointed that I don't actually have YouTube community members who basically I could play with. I'm finding myself getting very bored. I feel very isolated. I feel like I'm in a bubble and that I cannot connect with the rest of the world. Um, I have no idea exactly what goes on these private forums. I do know they exist. That is a God-given fact that they do. The only way I could describe them is by using a Star Wars reference. There are two groups, and a lot of people are very familiar with Star Wars and know which two groups I'm going to talk about right away. There's the Jedi Council and their students, and there's the Sith Lord and his apprentice. Most notably, the apprentice was Anakin Skywalker, who later turned into Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, General Grievous, those guys. And the Jedi Council consisted of, obviously, Yoda, the most powerful of them all, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon, and some weird looking ones, I forget their names. I mean, I'm not that familiar with Star Wars, I'm not a nerd. But the thing is, if you've seen some of my videos, I am leaning a little bit towards the dark side. It's not that I want to, it's because the Jedi Council will never accept me. They will never train me. They will never allow me into their inner circle. Because of reasons I don't understand. And remember, this is a caricature. It's the only way I know how to describe what I think could possibly be going on. Could be wrong again. As I've said many times, if somebody can tell me why I'm wrong in a convincing manner, I'll take what they've said into consideration. The thing about going over slightly more to the dark side is there are a lot of things about the dark side from what I've vaguely seen on the internet, mostly on Facebook and things like that, that I don't agree with. I'm not on board with that. And I know a lot of people have been taken in by the allure of power and control of the dark side. And this idea of sort of a master who understands the world and can explain things to you in a way that you're going to understand exactly what's going on, that does have some promise of being acceptable. Because, Darth Sidious he was portrayed as very evil, but he did do good things, actually, believe it or not. There's plenty memes about that, discussing the good things, like he put people to work, he restored order, he got rid of corruption in the Senate, and all this sort of stuff. And it's just like, it's all a caricature, because the Jedi Council has its flaws too. They're not perfect. They do a lot of squabbling amongst themselves, and they don't get anything done. And they tend to be less powerful than the Sith Lord. There are some people who have fallen to the dark side and have gone about doing incredibly horrible things, or saying incredibly horrible things, or just generally being unacceptable people. So this is me saying that I most certainly don't agree with a lot of the things the dark side has to offer. But one meme that keeps popping up everywhere is Obi-Wan talking to Anakin going, "Oh, Anakin, the light side has cookies too." And Anakin's like, "But they have raisins in them." So yeah, there's things about the Jedi Council and the light side that are unappealing, unfulfilling, and there are things that the supposed light side believes in that are gonna piss off guys similar to me, because it's more of an open community of all different backgrounds and, you know, positions in society and all that, and they've all gathered into a community, and they all voice their opinions, and you're never gonna agree with some of the things they've got to say, because some of the things they've got to say are like, who do they think they are? What high horse did they come off of? Anyway, I'm very interested in finding one of these private forums where I can discuss some of my ideas and be an apprentice. I mean, the Sith Lord could be a very decent person who just happens to know things about the dark side, and has a way of presenting them in such a way that it's almost like they're not evil at all. But you know, all it is it's a different perspective of the same entity. I believe that in real life, the Jedi Council and the Sith Lord are all one community. They're all one faction. And they have squabbles amongst each other and different opinions. And things don't get done. And there's so much I don't understand. I mean, if you're not in these inner circles, you're not going to know. So I'm describing it to the best of my ability. But what I'm saying is that both sides of the argument are the same coin. It's just different sides, and they're both capable of having beliefs or opinions and powers that you're not going to agree with, you're not going to like. And it's all about a balance between the two of them. Because obviously, if you're part of the Jedi Council, there are going to be times where you're just walked all over. And your opinion's not going to count for anything. Whereas with the dark side, when you say something, you have the authority. Respect my authority. I'm going to discuss some of the evil things I've seen on the internet. I do not partake in these things. I don't even go looking for them. I have run into them. I have run into people saying these sort of things. You can't help it when you go on the internet. So don't think I want anything to do with that. Don't try to rope me in with bad stuff that has nothing to do with me. I just want to be a little more enlightened, and I feel as though in my current position that the more Jedi Council point of view, they will never accept me. And living a life of ignorance, of performing my menial tasks, living the life of a everyday citizen, it's not enough for me. I can't go about living in a world where I know things are happening, important decisions are being made, and I'm oblivious to them. So, I mean, if that means I have to put on red face paint and put horns in my head and have a lightsaber battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi, then so be it. Yeah, I can't stand this content that's available to me with emptiness, meaningless, uninteresting. There's no interaction, there's no genuine communication or whatever. I mean, you can go on a video, make a comment, maybe somebody will reply to you, but they'll just repeat like a parrot what they already know. Most people are like that. They can't help it. They can't help being simpletons. As a matter of fact, most people are stupid. I'm not, as I've said, I'm not the smartest person. I've even said I like to compare myself to Chicken Little. I'm a particularly dumb person. But doesn't mean I can't learn. Anyway, that was my metaphor of my vague understanding of these secret societies on the internet. So perhaps if somebody watched this video who hadn't thought that train of thought before and now is starting to think that train of thought, then perhaps some open dialogue can occur. Anyway, thank you for watching.